Hi everybody. Today what I would like to do is I'd like to show you something called the right angle survival tool. This is something that was put together by Tom Laskowski from Midwest Native Skills, and one of the situations that you run into, especially if you spend a lot of time in the woods, is that eventually if you use your knife enough it does get dull, and unless you've got a good way to put an edge back on your knife, it becomes pretty useless. So what he did was he built a small survival kit around a knife sharpener. So let me show you what he has in his kit. First thing you have is there is a base, and in this base he's got a couple of different things. First of all, he's got a good quality compass. He's also got a temperature gauge. On the end here he's got a small piece of ferrocerium that you could use to strike a spark if you need to start a fire. And this base also forms the foundation for the knife sharpening kit. You'll see that in a minute. In this pouch there's plenty of room for two different knife sharpeners, or for two different grit sharpeners in here. You've got a very coarse grit. This is something that you could actually use to take chips out of an axe blade, or if the knife is extremely dull, this will do a real nice job of putting a faster edge on the knife. Next to that, he has a two-sided sharpener, a coarse, which is a little bit finer than the super coarse blade, and then you've got a very fine sharpener. So you can go from extremely dull knife to sharpening it to a couple of different levels. He also has a diamond Hoenn, and this is something that's really important, because when you get done sharpening your knife, too many people forget to take the little burr off the blade that the sharpening stones cause. And if you don't, you're never going to have a really sharp knife. So he includes a diamond Hoenn in here. This is the foundation of the knife sharpening kit. The last part of the knife sharpening kit is this piece, and it's got a couple of different functions to it. It's got a magnifying glass, which if you get bright enough sunlight, you can use this to start a fire, so you've got an alternate means of starting a fire. It's got a signal mirror on it, and you can see here, if I flash the camera a little bit, it's a very effective signal mirror that you can use to signal for help if you need to. On the other side it has a sundial, and I'll show you how the sundial works. He has a white Bic lighter, which I've always believed in. The white is nice because you can check your fuel level. He has a vial here that has fishing line wrapped around it, and inside of this vial you can keep a number of different things. Right now we have a powdered mixture, which is potassium permanganate and just plain old white sugar. This is the third method for starting fires. In the back of the pouch, he's got a razor blade. He's got a piece of wax-coated cardboard, which you can use for tinder. We've got a large size nail, a small piece of snare wire, and a hacksaw blade. The hacksaw blade is what you could use on the ferrocerium in order to strike a spark. And then there's a small straw-like tube that is sealed with beeswax. It's got a piece of steel wool, which can be used for tinder again. It's got some lead shot, which is used for the fishing kit, and then it's got a piece of red fabric here. This can be used if you're trying to catch frogs. You put this little piece of material on a hook and you can get pretty much all the frogs you want. In the lid of the kit, he's got a magnetized sewing needle. This magnetized needle is set up so that if you can float it in a little bit of water on a leaf or something, the point of this needle will face north. So this could be used as a primitive compass. Then he's got safety pin, 3 or 4 hooks, 3 or 4 small hooks for fishing. He's got a small jig here with a curlicue tail, and then he's got a small nail. This is part of the Sundial. Let me quickly show you the Sundial while we're here. The way that you assemble the Sundial is part of the way that the knife sharpener goes. You put this upright into the base, and then you push this nail through the hole, and then when you orient this, you orient it so that the mirror faces north, and then once you do that, you look to see where the shadow falls, and right now the shadow is falling right at about 11 o'clock. You can see it's falling down here, and on my watch it is 11:05. He even has a conversion if you are on daylight savings time, or depending on what time zone you're in, you would have to adjust your time, but it does give you a rough approximation of what time it is just using a sundial. Now, as far as knife sharpening goes, this is what this was originally designed to do, and it does a really nice job of sharpening. There are 2 different angles that you can choose. You can either choose an 18-degree edge or a 23-degree edge. The smaller this angle is, the sharper the knife is going to be, but the less durable the edge is going to be. I typically sharpen everything that I have to 18 degrees. But what you do is the upright goes here in the 18-degree slot, and then you take your sharpener, and the bottom of the sharpener goes in the slot here, and then the top goes and fits right up against this upright, and then this gives you a consistent 18-degree angle. When you strike down, you just go from the root of the blade all the way to the tip. And what I would do is I would do this 12 times on each side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The key is that you want to make sure you keep the blade straight up and down. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do 12 times on the other side. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you keep this going all the way up to 12. And then once I get done with 12 strokes on each side, I'm going to go down to 10 strokes on each side, then 8, then 6, then 4, then 2 on each side, and then I'm going to turn over to the fine edge, and I'm going to repeat. Now I'm going to go 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then I keep going 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. After each set of strokes, you turn it to the other side so you keep a nice even edge on the base of the blade. So it's going to be 12 on one side, 12 on the other side, 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. You just keep going back and forth. And then once you've finished all of that, you take the Hoenn and you just take a couple of strokes on the Hoenn. That's enough to take the burr off of the blade, and you end up with a very, very nice sharp blade. This kit comes with a really good set of directions. He talks about how to set up the sundial, talks about the uses for all of the different items that are in the kit. It's about 6 or 7 pages long. He shows you how to use the fishing equipment. He actually shows you where everything is in the kit. So the directions are really, really well done and very comprehensive and very thorough. Overall, it's a really well thought out product. Everything that he has fits back comfortably into the kit when you put it away. The upright tucks in here. The fire powder container and the fishing line tucks in here. There's a spot here for the Hoenn. Your sharpeners fold up and they fit in here. Everything else fits right in back here. nail. This needle fits right back here. The nail goes next to it. And the white lighter goes right here. It's made out of a real durable nylon webbing. It's got a belt loop that you don't have to thread your belt through. This is quick on, quick off. There's only two additional things that I add to this kit. One is a small piece of fat wood that slides right in next to the upright, and the other is about an 8 to 10 foot long piece of jute twine, and that jute twine attaches to this D-ring that Tom has thoughtfully put on the holder for this. And the reason that I added these two items is I'm a really big believer in, whenever possible, having tinder with you, because it's always easier to make fire with man-made tinder than it is with something that you have to take out of the woods. Obviously it can be done taken right out of the woods, but if you've got good tinder materials with you, it makes life a little bit easier. So that is the right angle survival tool. It's very well thought out. I love the ability to have a good knife sharpener with me in the woods, along with all the other items that I might need if I need to start a fire or if I get lost. It's a very basic survival kit. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. I hope you learned something. And hey, take your kids camping. Have a great day, everyone.